Cool.
You know, it's really funny. You know how I just said sometimes the mic like acts like the computer. That's exactly what happened to me. My computer thought that.
So it was not me the whole time.
It was definitely me the entire time, and I almost didn't check because I was so sure that it wasn't me.
I know you were like, yeah. So for
I'm like.
so for everyone, like, well, were you recording before, or were you just recording?
No, I wasn't. No,
Okay.
I'm recording now.
Yeah. So for everyone that just missed this, we had some technical difficulties because I thought it was me and my microphone. Or like first I was using the laptop microphone and it wasn't working. He couldn't hear me. So he was like, "Oh yeah, sometimes if you blah 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 blah," and I'm like,
that is exactly what I said. I said blah 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 blah. You're perfectly okay.
Well, anyways, it was not my fault, guys, and I was like,
yes, at the end of the day, it was my fault. I was the culprit all along.
Yes.
Cool. I love this. This is like the perfect intro.
Great way to start.
This is the perfect intro. But all right, hold on. Right before we start, though.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of business. So, because it is a candid interview, and I sometimes like to lean on the mental health, aspect of things, I might come up with a question. Like I have my list of questions, but I also come up with questions on the spot. Like most of my questions are on the spot.
Okay.
Because of that, I don't know what I'm going to ask. It might be something too personal, right? It might be something that you feel too personal, you don't want to comment on. And if that's the case, then no worries. I'll just nip that part out of the part. Just let me know, hey, that's a little too personal. I don't want to talk about that.
Honestly, I'm very open, and the more personal, the better. Honestly.
Ooh, perfect. Here we go.
No limits. No limits.
Awesome. All right. Okay. All right. You good? You ready?
All right. Let's get this road on the show. Let's do it.
Okay. Road on the show. Got it.
Yeah. That's my line.
Put that pavement on the tire.
I don't know about that one. I think you're gonna have to think of a new one.
I've already copyrighted it, so
okay.
Once it blows up,
I see it on people's shirts now.
Yeah, pavement on the tires.
Second.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. You are listening to Adjunct Vernacular with me, Chino Cavazone. And today I have Therese pieces, bougie, and basic.
I was like, are you going to pronounce my last name? Because it's really long.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I wasn't even going to try that.
I feel like you looked at the screen and you're like, okay, that's a lot.
I was trying to remember if it was bougie and bad or basic and bougie. I was trying to remember the order of the words.
Well, everyone always thinks like bad and bougie because of the song, right?
Mm-hmm. It's bougie and basic.
Yeah. So
okay.
that's why.
Before I get into that, because I do have questions about that, I like to start, and anyone who listens to the show pretty much knows my formula already. I start with the same question and I end with the same question. But starting off, jumping right into the gate, what's your background? Where you're born? What's your ethnicity? Where you're from? All that fun stuff.
All the background stuff. Okay, so I was born and raised in San Francisco, like literally. Are you from San Francisco?
Absolutely not. I'm from Jersey.
Absolutely not. You mean it seemed like it was a bad thing? Like, it's everywhere.
No, I'm from Jersey. I've lived in Miami most of my life.
I was just going to Miami 2 weeks ago. That's fucking crazy. I've never been to the east side. Like East Coast.
I have never been to the West. I've been completely East side. This is a meeting of East and West right here happening live.
That's so weird. So like you actually live in Jersey right now?
No. I was born in Jersey. I was there when I was because I always say Jersey first because I even though I've lived in Miami for essentially 70% of my life.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a Miamian. But yeah, so I always say Jersey native, but Miami raised.
Got it. I was so mad I was supposed to be there, but of course I was like, I just got a new job. Okay, well, we'll talk about that. Okay, well, anyways, but my background, I grew up in, have you ever, okay, I should backtrack. Have you ever been to San Francisco? Ever?
I've never been to the West Coast at all. Not even nothing.
Zero.
Nothing.
Okay. you
Zero West Coast
probably
experience.
have this like portrayal of like San Francisco, like, ooh, it kind of is gross and it smells like pee everywhere, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
It smells like pee everywhere. Okay, got it. New York, rats. San Francisco, pee. All right.
Yeah, and like even on BART, you see people like literally take a shit. It's kind of gross. But I grew
Awesome.
up there, like I grew up literally in the heart of San Francisco.
Okay.
I was there for like I think like 10 years, and then I moved
Oh, wow.
to
Okay.
the peninsula. I went to school. It was my mom worked in Daly City, which is maybe about 10 minutes from San Francisco. So I went to school around in the peninsula. I went to a high school, an all girls high school. And no, I
Huh.
did not turn out lesbian because I feel like every person that asked me that, they're like, did you have a lesbian experience because you went to an all girls school? I'm like,
Do
no.
people really ask that? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's like
You would,
one of those questions. It's just one of those questions. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, no. I was pro dick for the rest of my life. So I no, never. I mean, lesbians
Pro
are
dick should
cool.
be on a t-shirt.
Copyrighted.
That should
Copyrighted.
be that's your
Oh
merch.
my
Run with that. Run with that, my dude.
You guys cannot steal that, okay, guys? Pro dick is
That's
mine. Do
hilarious.
not fucking take that shit. Um,
Hilarious. Uh-huh.
but yeah, I went to an all girls school. And let's see what else, but it wasn't even like it was just like all girls. Like there were, there were other schools around. There were an all boys
Mm,
school. There was Sarah High School. So, and a lot of like famous athletes came from there, so it wasn't all
oh, cool.
girls. So
Mm-hmm.
I am Filipino. A lot of people think that I'm like Chinese or something. People mistaken
Mm-hmm.
me for like Soo Young from freaking Rush Hour, like when I was like a freaking kid. I was
That's
like, no,
hilarious.
that's
That's
really
it's just
racist
that
of you.
just that casual racism.
Right. Right.
I'm actually partly Chinese. But because
Really.
yeah. I guess you can kind of tell if I lean a little bit back and my eyes are a little small. And that's about it, really. The rest of me is very, very Hispanic, very, very Cuban. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, I have questions about racism later on, but
Oh,
to
there's a lot.
continue.
There is
Yeah,
a lot.
we're gonna yes.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna dive deeper.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I currently live in Daly City, which is like I said, which is about
Also in California.
yeah, but I am
Okay.
planning, well, this is my goal within the next like month or two, to actually move to SoCal.
Mm,
I have been since I work remote, I can work
mm,
anywhere and still get Bay Area salary. It's very expensive in the Bay Area. And I
yes.
live alone, so I don't have to like I don't split rent with anyone.
Oof.
So
So yeah. So then it's like that's it's
yeah.
extra expensive.
Yeah. And so everyone from my company is like moving out to like Colorado where it's cheaper, moving out to
I
Napa
see.
where it's much cheaper. So I love the beaches. I love San Diego. I love
Mm-hmm.
LA. So I'm actually
So is
I'm leaving tomorrow to go to
so
LA.
then is that happy trails, but is that so then is it kind of like a nostalgic thing, that nostalgic thing that you don't want to like leave California, or is it just you just feel like it's home, or
Um, I I'm like such like a very family oriented person. I see my
Hmm,
mom every single day. Like if I have a bad day at work, I'll go to her house and we'll have dinner, or she'll rub
hmm,
my back or rub my head. So
hmm,
I feel like SoCal is far enough,
hmm.
but it's still like I can still come home whenever. It's like a 45 minute
Cool,
to an hour flight. So
that's cool. Okay,
yeah.
so all right, so then you do, other than the job that you have, which I don't know what the job is, but I know you work remote. Other than that job,
Yeah.
you work, you have a podcast, and you also paint. So let me start with the painting first, because that's how I kind of found your
Let's
Instagram, through
do
the
it.
painting, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, podcast, two things,
Double P's, or and the panties, so three. So triple
double P,
P's.
triple P's, dude.
Triple
Wow, where does
P's.
the third one go? Oh, that's where the third one goes.
There you go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connect the dots. How
Pro
could you
dick
miss
on a
it?
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Pro dick on a t-shirt. With three P's. That's hilarious.
That is, yeah.
So when did the painting start? When was that something that you're like, did you like when did the painting start with you?
It was actually okay. So what month are we in? So it was like almost like 3.5 years ago. I was going through a super hard time. I was going through like a breakup. And I was also going through like medical issues. And there was a time where I was like, I might have had cancer, and just having to just like basically leave my life and just go and focus on something else. Painting was that. And so I was still going to work full time. I was still going to school full time, but I didn't get into a winter break class, which I think was like a blessing in disguise. And that gave me 3 weeks to do anything that I wanted. And so I was like, you know what? I want to do something that I have never tried before. I've always been a creative person. When I was younger, I wanted to create my own font. I had like a font book and everything. I'm
That's
weird
cool.
like that.
No, that's definitely cool.
Yeah. So I love fonts. I love penmanship and everything. But I was like, I'm just going to YouTube stuff. There's so much stuff on YouTube. And I YouTubed for like a whole week straight. And I was like, I'm going to just try it. I don't have time to take a class or anything. And so I did it, and I just started. There were times where I didn't even sleep. I would be up 24 hours and I would just paint.
So would you say that it's fair to say that it started off as, I guess, therapy, as a sort of release, a way to process what was happening, and it turned into a passion? Would that be fair to say?
Exactly. Like I was like, oh, I don't know how to deal with my issues right now. And I would and I'm the type of person that, like, if I have problems, I really don't want to bother other people with it. And so I'd rather just keep it to myself. Like I don't want to, involve other people. So I had that. And so that's exactly what it was. It was basically therapy for me.
And it's pretty good, by the way, just saying. They're pretty good. So with painting, was you were going to school for something different, or?
Yeah, I was going to school for business marketing.
Business marketing. Okay. I mean, that's kind of working right now, right?
Yeah. I have my own business online.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that helps.
I mean, also you're marketing for the podcast. So like it is,
Exactly.
it has worked. But was painting ever like a source, like, okay, I'm gonna turn this passion into profit now, or was that, or has it always been like, well, tell me about that.
That was 3.5 years ago. And back in December was when, I mean, I've only showed, I think, like only 5 people within those 3.5 years of what I've done. And besides like my family, because it was like, I was like such a hoarder with my paintings. This is when I lived with my mom, and everything was stacking up. And she was like, you need to get these out of my house because we can't have all these paintings here. And I was like, I don't want to sell it. One, every single painting has like, I guess, a feeling to it. And like it was an experience at that time, and I don't want to let that go. And also, I don't want to be judged for my work. And so I think it was back in October-ish. I had met an entrepreneur, and he had like, a lot of people are like, you need to sell yourself. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. But he really gave me a point of view where I could really make a lot of money from this. I mean, I get paid a lot, and this would just be extra money. But the fact that I could really do this and just be able to become like an actual business owner and sell my stuff and show it to the world, and who cares what anyone thinks? Like, who gives a fuck, honestly? Wait, can I cuss on this?
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't say like this. This used to be a radio show, but it's not on fucking radio anymore. So you can say what the fuck you want.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh my god, I just said fuck. Okay, sorry.
It's fine. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So it took a lot of convincing, and when I didn't even say that I was going to sell it, but I put up a TikTok video, and it went viral. Like, it was just going up and up and up. And I was like, oh my God, that means people like this stuff. And so I did a lot more research. And now, because of that, because not that he forced me to do it, but he was just like, don't be a fucking bitch and just fucking post it. And who cares what anyone thinks? And now everyone like everyone loves it. And I was like, oh my God. And now I've made a good amount of money. So without that push, without that, then it would have just been, this whole wall would have just been covered now. So
she's, for the people who can't see the wall, she's
pointed
to, she just pointed behind it. There's a couple paintings back there.
This is not even all of it.
They're very good, by the way.
Thank you.
There's one of an eye, and I keep staring at. No,
there's
the
3 eyes.
The one at the eyebrow. I keep staring at that one. That one I keep looking at. It's looking back at me.
No, it's literally looking at you.
So let me ask you about your process when you're painting. I know that you paint without pants, and I know you kind of talked about that on your Instagram already. Yeah. But if you don't mind, we're talking about that too, but also just tell me about your process when you're actually sitting down and you're painting something. Like, how do you decide what you want to paint? You know, like, is it all in one day? Tell me about that.
So it can be almost, it's like super like candid, I guess you can say. Like, I could be working.
Like these interviews.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I could be working and then all of a sudden just have like a random idea, and I would just write it down in a notebook or a Post-it, and I would research, like, I look up photos and everything and what I can kind of emulate. And then from that, I kind of just sketch it out onto a canvas. And then I've been obsessed with like black and whites lately. I don't know why, but that's what I've been doing. And but there has been times where I just get so frustrated. I throw a lot of stuff away. Like there was one, I did a Bob Marley one a couple of years ago, and I was like 90% done, but I couldn't fix this one part, and I threw it in the trash, and my mom literally saved it. And she was like, you literally spent almost like 24 hours on this. Like, you need to just like keep going. And I was like, whoa, my mic fell. That was very strong. Sorry. Yeah, I've been working out a lot.
Really,
I know, I was just so passionate.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
she
Bob
was like,
Marley.
Yeah, she was like, just keep going. And I was like, no, I've tried to fix it over and over. And I actually, quote unquote, fixed it, and I sold it for like $5,000. But the process, like, it's not as what people think. It's not all glamorous where, okay, let me just sketch this out for a couple of hours. No, like, I rip out so many things. I throw things away. Like, is it a perfectionist thing that you need to get it a specific way? It is, because I feel like with these, like, okay, you can't see obviously because you guys are not looking. Okay, God damn it. But I don't think any of these are done, and some of these have been done for 2 years or finished. So
you come back to it, like, even if it hasn't, it may be like you started it let's say you start one today, you might finish it 2 years from now.
When not really, because I always want to finish things within 24 hours, which kind of bites me in the ass because I will stay up late and I will not sleep, and I still have a day job. I still have responsibilities. But like the I one that you saw, that was quote unquote finished 2 years ago. But sometimes I'll wake up like every day and I'm like, okay, no, I need to fix this. So I don't think nothing is ever finished.
Okay. Do you continuously add onto it, like the ones behind you, or yeah?
Lately, yeah. I think because it's
interesting.
It's been staring at me, and I have like a whole closet full of like 20 other ones, and I'm like, should I rotate it so I can not, but that's why I want to get these out like as soon as possible, because it like stares at me every day, which is kind of psycho, but
it gives you like a little bit of anxiety.
It does. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is really, like, I stayed up till like 1:30 a.m. last night, and I had to wake up at 4. And I woke up at like 4, and I was like, oh my God, I really have to, and it's literally staring at me right now. I'm not kidding.
It's behind you. It's like looking over your shoulder.
It's literally staring at me right now. And I'm like, oh God. And I know what parts that I want to fix, but
I see.
It's never fully done.
How do you decide what to paint? Like, how do you decide that, okay, I'm going to paint an eye, for example?
Like, okay, so let's say, for instance, so you can see, but there's like a shadow of a girl.
Yes, well, there's a shadow of a girl with a hand out. And it's like, it looks like it's almost like on a mirror kind of deal, or like in smoke or mist.
Yeah, kind of like rain-ish vibes. I think that day I was having a shitty ass day, and like I just felt like I didn't want to do anything at all, and that just came out. I was like looking up stuff online, and I was just like, I browsed through photos, and I'm like, okay, I can do something of that and that, and just put it together. And then just like if they were to make a baby, I would just do that. It all depends on my mood, honestly. I mean, I don't want people to think I'm depressed when they all see these sad photos, but that's sometimes like what I've been feeling lately. So at the moment, I'm not always.
So it's mood based essentially. And then you try to find something that I guess matches that, and then you create something out of the two.
Yeah. Exactly, like the spray paint can. That was like during like the BLM like movement and everything, when everyone was like spray painting stuff, like, and I love spray paint. Like I used to do that when I was like younger. So
that's dope. I always find graffiti fascinating. I can't do it, but I find it, I don't know,
nice.
it's fascinating. It's a really interesting way of art that I really appreciate.
I agree, same.
Yeah, I kind of don't like it when it gets covered up, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, growing up in the city, you see so much, and then you kind of have to just like admire it for that time, because maybe the next week it'll probably be gone.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But all right, moving back into the podcasting stuff. The episode I heard today as my research, because I don't really like to do too much research on people. I like to learn from here. You know, I like to learn on the show. Because I feel like if I come in already knowing some stuff, it kind of like it fucks up my vibe. Yeah, it fucks up my vibe. It is not as candid. It's not like I'm on the spot and I find myself preparing too many questions, and I'm not about that.
Same.
So the one I heard was the F word, which was a spoiler alert if you haven't heard this episode.
Yeah.
It was about failure.
Yep.
And I wonder, since you mentioned you know, how you're like moods when you paint, is that kind of the deal with the podcast? And also, follow-up question, it was Renee in yourself, and this episode I heard was no Renee. So what's the deal with that?
Yeah, it was so hard. Like, honestly, like, it's so funny. Like, it was like almost a year ago, because we started this podcast right before COVID hit. And
okay, so this is relatively new.
Yeah, and I have a bucket list that I have in my notebook, and having a podcast has always been my dream. And that was her dream as well. And we connected, and she coincidentally lived up the street from me, and we have the same best friend, which is very weird, because I never really knew how close they were, and vice versa with her. And we all went out to dinner, and she's like, "You just want to make a podcast?" And I was like,
dope.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I've always wanted to. But it was great. She has seen herself in radio in the future. So I was like, I don't see myself in that, but I've always just wanted to reach out to people through a podcast. So that was that. And we kind of wanted it to be very like unfiltered. Have you ever heard of the Call Her Daddy podcast?
Yes, I have heard of it. I haven't listened to it. I have a friend who likes that and sent it to me. But I have not heard it, but I know it's a thing.
Yeah, it's very like unfiltered, and like a lot of people said we were like Call Her Daddy Part 2, and we don't hold back. Like, we talk about anything and everything, from like, well, like with her episode, she talked about like, I don't know, like anal and like all these other stuff. And we didn't want to be portrayed as just because we're women doesn't mean we can't talk about these things.
See.
Yeah. And then she wanted to, you know, because we were very open, I feel like it would be very hard to date someone if you're basically airing out a lot of stuff, I feel. And so, which is fine, which is hard, because I don't know if I would want to date someone who has a podcast and he's talking about our sex life. So it's hard. So that was going in that direction. And I was like, I came to the point where I remember it was like July 6th of last year. And she told me, and I was like, I felt like it was like a breakup, but I was like, okay, but we have so many fans, right? Do we just let them down? Do we just like leave them to be? And I was like, I think I could do this by myself. you know. She did a lot of editing stuff, so I had to learn a lot of stuff, but I was like, I'm just gonna do it, whatever, you know. And
Okay.
if numbers go down, whatever, because I'm a numbers person. I work in tech and I love data, I love all that stuff. So I try not to look at it a lot, but it's weird how that correlates with my panties and paintings, because all those
Panties and paintings.
people from panties and paintings are now shifting over to bougie and basic and vice versa.
Interesting.
So that's nice. So I want to combine the two families so we can just all be one. So it'll be like bougie and basic and panties and paintings. That's really long. It's like BBPP. No.
BBPP.
BB copyright.
That's gonna give people a different idea of what it is. BB and PP.
BB and nice. PP. Pro dick.
So pro dick. Back, buy her merch.
Yeah, it's already coming out next week.
So how do you set up like an episode? Like how do you decide, like now that you're on your own, how do you, I guess, okay, I'm going to make an episode about this.
I kind of I do things that are very relatable. Like the one that's coming out soon is about the pandemic, and it's about how everything is lifting. And I don't know how it is in your county, but we're in orange tier coming up. That means we get 50% of like restaurants, gyms, movie theaters.
I'm in Florida. We have the Santies. It's
you have been no masks for the past year.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Miami Beach, actually, not Miami-Dade. Miami Beach has been.
Oh my God, I saw it on the news. They were like the whole party, like
before. Actually, it has been getting bad for whatever reason, but it's been getting like
the past week, right?
No, a little bit before spring break. Like it was getting bad already. Like there was a lot of like, I think there was like a couple shootings and then a couple like just regular old crime just happening in Miami Beach. And now plus this, I'm sure that city is just have had it. I'm sure that they're just like, I'm over it. You know what I mean?
I saw it on CNN that there was like a whole like 500 people that were partying together, and all the cops were trying to like arrest all of them. Like, how are you gonna arrest all of them? Like, let's be real. What are you gonna do? Chase them?
Man, this is like, it's very. I'm not like. Listen, bro. We're a mess over here. It's a mess over here. It's un rachatera, like I would say. So it's just a mess over here, my man.
Do you like do you live like deep in like the party? Like I don't know anything about that.
No. So like I can in 30 minutes I'm there.
Okay, so you're like further out.
30 minutes. I mean, in an hour, I'm at Miami Beach, but like to drive to Miami Beach, like I'm 30 minutes away from Brickell, which is like downtown rich area.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool, I guess. But like Miami Beach is a little ways away, but like an hour for like we don't really like that's no one cares. Like if it's an hour away, Wynwood is about 30 minutes. Wynwood is our design district where you go and get shit faced, as I have met plenty of times. I got shit-faced Saturday. I'm pretty sure I had alcohol poisoning.
Oh my God,
it was terrible actually. I mean, I would love to get into it. But I mean, I don't know. Should I? I mean, listen, I got really fucked up. I got into grad school, so I was celebrating. It was someone else's birthday party.
Oh my God, congratulations!
Yeah.
Okay, then you're okay. You need to black out more. Then I'm surprised you're not blacked out already.
I threw up rice through my nose. I have never felt like that. I've never felt that pain before, and I hope I never feel that pain again. It was the worst.
What did you eat before?
Rice.
Yeah, obviously.
No, but Miami's a party city, but like I'm not too much of a partier, except I just told you that I get blacked out, but whatever. Whatever. I binge drink. What I do.
I mean, like, you just got into grad school. I would have been blacked out for you. What the hell? And I'm in the West Coast, so yes, we're all gonna black out. This is a milestone for you.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. It definitely is crazy. And it's good because
in a while, actually.
Because it's actually really cool because I'm trying to. So, I always have like a mental health angle. So I'm actually gonna have the opportunity to become a therapist now, a PsyD in psychology. So now I can really I can really rep what I say, since I'm like a kind of like a mental health advocate. But
Oh
now I
my.
can walk the talk now. You know what I mean? So that's
Now
pretty
you,
dope. You know,
yeah, now you can back it up. I literally just
now I
got a
can back it
standing
up.
ovation from my therapist on Tuesday, and I was like, thank you.
Yes, awesome. So actually, now that we're on the topic of mental health, there's something that I wanted to talk
Oh,
to you
that's my
about. So
turn.
something
Yeah.
peculiar happened when I was reaching out to you. I reached out to you through a comment, if I'm not mistaken, and then I'm guessing this individual, which this is not a drama show, this is not a tabloid
Yeah.
show, but I
Yeah.
actually fucking hate tabloids, so that's yuck with two Y's. Um, but two capital Y's, by the way. Another merch opportunity.
That
And
is copyright.
someone reached out to me, and they said like not to give you an interview, uh, that you fake your art, and
I get that a lot. Yeah.
a cup. So I wanted to ask about how you handle hate. And I'm asking this question
Yeah.
in a very turbulent time, because um, with all the Asian hate that is going
Oh,
around, and the unfortunate murders of the, I believe, 7 women, and then
yep.
it was 8 in total, but it was 7 Asian women at a
The spa.
massage spa. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't remember if it was a spa or not, but so I wanted to ask you how you handle hate personally and how it's affected you personally.
Yeah. I mean, like all the stuff that I see in the news, like in San Francisco, a lot of that stuff has happened within 5 to 10 minutes from my house. When I'm like, wow, this is actually like really serious. And
Mm-hmm.
I am really close with my grandma, and my grandma is like my best friend. I tell her everything. She's probably the most toughest person. She'll probably kick someone's ass, no doubt. But she's smaller than me. She's probably like 4'9". But I always
Shout out
tell
to
her,
grandma.
right? I'm always
Mm-hmm.
like, you need to just be very careful. She's like, look at me. Do you think anyone would want to touch me? And I was like, well, one, you're very flashy. You're wearing all this, like, you're wearing brand name stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, you can't be doing that, like, especially
Mm-hmm.
now. So it is hard. Like, I just seeing all that, and a lot of my friends are Asians, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my friends, like I have had friends since I was 5, so I know their parents, I know their grandparents. So when I see that, I get extra, like I panic. Or like, even just, there was one woman, she got attacked and she was only 30 years old. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's not even just like just elderly, they're attacking all ages now. So to put that into perspective, and also just being a woman in general, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I always carry my keys in my hand, and I'm always ready, like just in case. Like I have a pepper spray, I have everything prepared. But the fact that we all have to do that now, even be more aware, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's really scary. Like sometimes I don't want to leave my house,
Mm-hmm.
right? My mom goes to work every single day. Like I want to make sure she's okay. Like it's just like a whole sense of panic. Like if I get a phone call from my mom or my grandma, I'm like, oh my God, like what? Even though they're probably just calling to say hi, like I'm always scared it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be bad news.
It's always on edge. You're always on edge.
Yeah, and it's like so uncomfortable, and it like fucks with your sleep, it fucks with your thinking. Like it's not something to like take lightly. And so when you put that into, like, I guess internet hate and internet
Mm-hmm.
bullies, at first I was like, I am usually like a very tough person. Like you can say the
Mm-hmm.
most hateful thing to me, I really don't care. um but I think it was like one day I was just getting, so it was just an influx of like all these comments saying like you're not a real artist and all that stuff. And one, I paint for 24 hours. You think I'm gonna record me for 24 hours? Like, one, you're gonna kill
Mm-hmm.
my battery, and two, like
Mm-hmm.
I probably look like shit for 24 hours. And
Mm-hmm.
so that, and just like body image stuff, like I feel like they're like, oh my God, there's so much cellulite, like you need to work out more, like
Mm-hmm.
everything about your body is so ugly. Like they're just and I saw it in real time. I remember this exact moment because I was in LA, um where everyone looks fucking great there. But I turned off my notifications, but I had like a 5-minute break from my regular job, and I looked at my phone, and it was just comment after comment after comment after comment. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put my phone down. And then I looked at it again maybe 2 minutes later, and it was like still going. It was all negative. Usually, I mean, usually I'll have random strangers back me up, which is really nice. Like, I appreciate those people. But to see that in real time, and it was like nonstop, like, I turned off everything. I turned off all my social media for 2 whole days because I mentally could not take it. And I was like, and I feel like that hurt me in my sales because that's when I was getting the most viral. That's when I was getting the most likes, the most even positive comments, but it was just messing with my head in general.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay,
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. Yeah. Like it's unfortunately something that happens. I think people say it's because of the anonymity of the internet. It probably is, but it is something that happens too often. Hate is a very disgusting thing, very strong and powerful thing as well. So I think that just hearing what that does to someone is a powerful tool to hopefully counteract that.
Yeah.
To like, so, because a lot of the times it's like they're saying these things without maybe not even realizing what they're doing, you know, and they don't. It's not like this face-to-face thing.
Yeah, and I feel like they just, not that maybe the people that are on the other end, they just are not happy with themselves, so they take it out on other people. But they, again, they're very selfish and they're not thinking words still can hurt. Like, it's not physical pain, but like mentally, that like I may have lost sales and everything, but my mental state of mind, I was like, oh my God, I usually don't get bothered. I really don't get bothered, but it was over just 100 comments and I was just like, no, I can't. And I lost traction after that. It was very hard for me to gain more followers. But I think I needed that rest. And now I was like stronger. Now I'm like, okay, whatever. I really don't care. Say my ass is, whoa. See? Again, too
it's right.
strong.
It's passion.
Yeah.
It's all that
Yeah,
passion.
like, say my ass is flat. Say I have cellulite. I don't care. Like, I know how I look and I know, you know, what the work I put in, and that's all that matters.
Dope. I like that. So then so then that's how you deal with hate. You essentially well, actually, can you like you rephrase how you deal with hate, like just as a like statement?
When it comes
in person or not in person, either way.
So in person or just like overall, I would say take a break. Nothing is ever worth your mental state of mind. I never knew how important your mental state was until COVID hit really bad. I never thought it was important to take care of your mental state. I was like, whatever, it's not important. But when you have to handle things on your own, you really have to think about yourself. And that's all you have, right? So take care of yourself. And if you have to take a break, take a fucking break. The world is still going to be there. And all the supporters are still going to love you no matter what. They probably want you to take a break.
Yeah, I like that. Something that's also interesting, journaling is really good. And I would argue that painting as well. So you're already doing the painting part. But okay, cool. I really like that note. So I guess to kind of wrap up here, my final question, the same question I asked. And by the way, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Of course.
There's just so much power in stories, you know, like you never know like what someone's going through, and maybe just hearing that sort of like this is happening to them too kind of deal. Yes, it's happening to me too.
Yeah. So my goal every single day is to motivate someone or to touch one person every single day, whether it's to work out every day or to motivate you or to actually do something good for your mental state of mind. That's always my daily goal.
Mental health. Yes, I am. You're talking to the mental health guy, man. You're preaching to the choir. But all right, so to wrap up, I have this question.
I'm kind of scared of the final question. You're like,
yeah, I hype it up.
I see what I'm seeing, but he's like getting a head start, and he's like,
I'm happy. I always hype this up because everyone has a different answer to it, but it's always the same question. Now this is a little difficult because you have two things you do. Sometimes I'll ask someone who makes music about music. Sometimes I'll make someone who sculpts about sculpting. But so I guess you're gonna have
two answers. Two-parter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you feel about the current place of podcasting and painting in today's world, specifically in the type of show and medium that you produce?
I think that's hard. Okay.
Yep.
This is why it's the last question.
This is why it's the last question. Yes, ma'am.
It's honestly really hard with podcasting because there's so many. Like, what differentiates you from 1,000 other podcasts? But I also think with the pandemic, so many people have so much time that they're going to listen to things. And I've learned about just even talking to other people that they never listened to podcasts until the pandemic hit. And to actually get your message out, whether it's educational, informational, or for entertainment wise, like, that's, even if it's just 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you get your message across in some sort of way. And that's kind of like painting. Like, you see, none of my paintings are exactly the same. They all have a different feel to it. You know, they might be all different. They might be all eyeballs, but they're all different feels to it. So the eyeball that I painted 2.5 years ago, like, I was just like in a very low mood, and I was probably depressed at that time because I was still going through a breakup.
In a funk.
And
mourning essentially, when sometimes when people break up, they go through a mourning period because you're mourning the loss, even though they're still alive. You're mourning the loss of
the relationship. And the other eyeball is, I think I drew that one and I was really happy. That's not a tear of sadness. That's a tear of joy. And there's another eye you can't see, but it's on the bottom, but it has caution in the eyeball. So it's like, be careful of what you see. Like, there's so many different things, but it's like same, but different. So I think if you just portray a different message every single time, like, I feel like that's the goal. So yeah, those are my two-parters.
Okay.
Keep at me loaded.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for interviewing me, even though people said not to interview me, because
it was one specific person. I don't know what that was about. I'm like, you can come on my show and talk about whatever you want to talk about, and they declined. That's fine.
Yeah, the thing is, like, they want to see the whole thing, but it's just like, I don't have time to record for 24 hours, and it's like,
and also it's your right to, like, decide how people see your work or not, you know?
Yeah, and what if I don't, like, I'm doing this process, I know we're ending, but, like, I'm doing this process where I don't feel comfortable painting in front of people yet, and it's because I've had painting because it was solely of my own, and I could be alone and I can escape the world. And so people are like, you should go live and all that stuff, but that gives me anxiety, and that means you're gonna watch me and judge every stroke that I do. So
yeah, and you already have that perfection, that, like, kind of perfectionism, like, scope when you're creating something. So it's that added pressure that you really just don't need.
I don't want extra eyes. So I mean, I've been practicing of painting in front of one person, and it's still very hard for me. Like, my hands were sweating. I couldn't even hold the like the brush properly because I was sweating and nervous. Even though I told him, I was like, don't even look at me, just be in the same room.
Just be in the same room. Just close your eyes.
I literally, and, like, I think he glanced once and I was like, oh no, I'm done. Nope, can't do it. Like, it just makes, no, I mean, maybe I'll do it later on, but right now it's still a very big number.
Hey man, I whatever, like, works for you, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you want to do. Like,
but I want to, like, prove everyone wrong, but then I'm just like, oh, do I really want to stress all over this? Like, it's really scary, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Well, thank you again for coming on the show, Clarice. Thank you so much. And that's it. That's a wrap. Bye, everyone.
I know.
I never know how to end these because when it's like someone who doesn't make music, I kind of just end it And for someone who does music, I'll like play like a little
Yeah.
segment. Maybe I'll play a segment of your podcast.
Ooh, you talk about the most like
a little snippet. Well, it's coming up right now.
yeah, there you go. Mine is always the same thing. Mine's always like, I'll see you there. I'll see you at another time. I do like the most corniest shit ever. I'm like, why would anyone? Sometimes I'm like, whenever I'm like recording, I'm like, oh my God, why do people want to listen to me? I'm very weird. Like, who the hell wants to hear me burp all the time talking about like random stuff?
Burping.
Yeah, I burp
on
a
a
lot
shirt.
podcast.
Burp shirt. The burp shirt.
BP. BBP. That's so exciting that you went to grad school, though. Congrats.
Thank you. I stopped recording, but thank you so much. That was dope. Thank you so much. Yes, actually, it is crazy because it's okay. So I'm a child of immigrants, and we don't have shit for money. Like I live in a 1-room apartment with 2 parents, and I have been. So that's kind of awkward when I bring someone over. But
it's okay. You don't want to live in the Bay Area and like pay like
I don't. I don't. That's why I reacted the way that I did for when you said Bay Area, because all I know is about California is like because expensive. That's it. That's all that comes to mind. Can't afford it.
That's why I want to move. That's
what comes to mind. Yeah, that's what comes to mind when anyone mentions anything on the West Side. Well, specifically like that kind of area.
Yeah.
I know. Like, is San Diego as expensive too, or no?
No, that's why I want to move there. It's almost like $700 cheaper rent, so that would be saving me a lot of money.
Like Miami's also like
expensive.
Okay, yes, it is. But let me ask you a question real quick. So this is something that I was debating with my friends. So, we have like the top cities, right? With New York, LA, right? Where does Miami fall in that? Now that you're
like 3. I would want to go to Miami. Like
Okay. I figured that we were in 3rd place, kind of like a little bit lower. You get me? Like you have New York, LA, and we're here, but like we're not like okay. So if LA is here and New York is here, and I don't know which one's higher. But let's say LA is here and New York is here, right? For sake of argument.
But what are you basing it off of, like overall
popularity? Like when you think cities, like I want to go to the city. Like the conversation is, I want to go to New York. I want to go to LA, and then Miami's like here.
I feel like it would be 2 or 3.
No, definitely not 2. Definitely not 2. You really think so too?
I envision this very this nice beach with like women that have really nice bodies and men that are just really buff and just like really nice cars, like with the hydraulics and like nice.
Definitely not hydraulics, but yes, nice cars. Well, you'll have the occasional hydraulic, but that's really rare. Like
really?
It's like you don't see that often here. Like not really. At least I haven't seen them often. You'll see donks every now and again, but you won't really see hydraulics. Too often. You'll definitely see more of like the supercars. Like I've seen a Ferrari, a good like enough for me to know that's I've seen enough for me to be like, oh, that's just another Ferrari.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's supercars, McLarens are very popular. Also that that 3-wheel thing that it's like kind of like
it's like a spider, but not. It's like a.
It looks like a wedge kind of. It's like wedge shaped.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like a really fat 2-person bike. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. See, I envision that. Like, I don't I live 5 minutes away from the beach, but it's not a beach you would go to. Like, it's dirty. It's like black sand and it's dirt. I have lived here my whole life. I've only got in the water once because it's so cold here.
Interesting. Yeah, no, it's definitely not. It's humid. It's this. It's disgusting. I'm moving. I'm leaving to Chicago.
No, I want that because
listen. Everyone says that until they come here. Like this is not. This is a vacation city. This is not a city to live. Like get out. Leave.
I will literally message you like every single morning. I wake up. It's fog.
Tell you what though, we have good views. I can give Miami that. Our views are pretty tight.
And I'm sure you have a lot of rooftop stuff. Do you have a lot of like rooftop bars?
Well, I'm broke, so I don't really know. But I don't think so. I know of 1 rooftop. I know of maybe 2. 11, which is.
Is it like higher end?
Yeah, it's higher end. 11's higher end. I think 11 is like you have to like, man, I could be talking out of my fucking ass. It just goes to show how broke I am. I go to Windward instead.
It's okay. I broke because of rent, so. So there's that.
It's I think it's in, I want to say it's in Brickell, in that area, like, so the downtown Miami where like money is, and it's like business casual. Like you would have to go there. Like you can't go there. You
just
like
shorts and.
It's not. Yeah, you can't go in. Like you have to look nice to go in. I'm pretty sure. I'm like about 80% sure it's like that. And then there's only one other rooftop bar that's next to like an escape room. So it's not even really supposed to be a rooftop bar, but it's a rooftop bar and it's kind of low key and no one really knows about it. So it's kind of fucking dope. If I'm not gonna lie, like it's pretty fucking dope. Like
I like more low key stuff. Yeah. Here,
but like if you're going to get
fucked up,
if you're getting fucked up, it's definitely Brickell. Miami Beach, if you want to risk your life.
I've seen you guys on the news. You guys are just crazy.
You know, that's like 50% of that isn't us, but it is definitely the vibe here. Like that's like that's Miami.
I should have went 2 weeks ago. I literally got invited to go.
You would have been fine. You would have been like, maybe you would have been in that crowd probably.
Hella trampled over because I'm hella tiny. I'm like 4'11", and they're like, "What are you?"
No. Oh my god. No, you know what's cool though about Miami though? I will. Well, I mean, actually, it's only cool because I'm Hispanic, so we have a very. No, yeah, because we have a bubble here. We have a culture bubble. Like I don't worry about getting pulled over, right? I've never really had that happen.
Right. Yeah.
But bro, you go up to, not to Orlando. Orlando's pretty chill too, but you go to Naples. I've gotten weird looks at Naples. I've been just in a McDonald's eating and people have looked at me weird. So it's definitely really? Like you have to go up, you have to go north to go south. That's what we say here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How often do you go like to like where like the beaches are? Do you go there quite often? I would go every day. I like the beach.
You know what? I like the beach. I don't like the water.
Why is it
no, it's fine. I just don't like it. Oh. I'm not a water person.
I mean, nothing beat you.
Nah, it's chilling. Like how often you can go. I mean, it's kind of like the beach has been kind of like this thing where you just go on the weekends. So it's not as romanticized. It's kind of just like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
For me at least, me as a person, me as an individual. Other people would be like, I love the beach, but for me, it's like I'm desensitized to the beach. However, there's a park that is about fairly 30 minutes, 40 minutes to like maybe like that much. That's right next to the ocean. And I do like going to that.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see, when you go to that park, you can kind of see like, well, you see like, I don't know, fucking rich people houses, drug dealers, surgeons, whatever they fucking do, plastic surgeon houses. And then right over here, you'll see like some like apartment buildings. And then you keep looking like over here, and you'll see like Miami Beach. You'll see like the city.
See, I want the view.
And it's like a dope. It's definitely, we got views. You have mountains though, right? You have hills.
Hills, okay.
Hills. We don't have hills. We don't have hills. We have straight. It's all straight.
Flat.
It's all flat. It's all flat. This is the swamp. People don't understand that Miami is a swamp. It's a swamp. It's humid. It's fucking, the weather's gross. I'm always sweaty.
You stay here for a week.
But we got
humidity. I would love the humidity.
We got some cool palm trees though. We got some cool views.
I'm a sucker for palm trees. That's why I go to SoCal every other weekend, because I love palm trees.
Oh yeah, man. Palm trees are everywhere. Look, I'll show you right now. Hold on. Let me hold on. I got you.
Don't tell me.
Literally in front of me. Like if it's no one's business. How do I flick the
You have to wait, is your old camera? Okay, thank you. I would show you my palm tree.
Hold on, I got you. Hold up. Palm tree.
Okay, that looks like a healthy palm tree. If I show you mine looks like it has a receding hairline. Mine is really I will show you a picture tomorrow because I'm not going out there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But it's like
that's not true. Sometimes people say it gets cold here, but that's because like it goes down to like 70 and people lose their fucking minds. I mean, I'm fucking used to that now, so I'm gonna lose my mind when I go to Chicago. But it's fucking
When are you going to Chicago?
Before September. My classes start in September. So
wait, so your school is in September?
Yeah, classes start September, so I have to go.
Wait, where's your school? Sorry, did I not?
Chicago.
That is literally, I had 3 Chicago trips planned last year because so for regular work, I work in sales for a tech company, and Chicago is my territory. And I was like, all I want to do is see the bean. That may sound basic.
The bean.
Take a picture of the fucking bean. That's all I want to do.
Well, if you're there, and I'm there, say hi. We'll meet up or something.
Well, I literally have to go. Well, okay, so April.
I'm gonna be there for 5 fucking years. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, I have to go every 4 months. So if like COVID is okay, but every 4 months I would have to go there because that's
there's like barely any COVID.
I know.
There's barely any COVID restrictions here in FIU. So I mean FIU. That's where I'm at right now. Actually, I'm at my old university because free Wi-Fi, and I like recording outdoors. I'm not an indoors person, but
well, if you have nice weather like that, then I would never be indoors. I'm always indoors because it's always fucking cold here.
I don't know, man. I like layers. I like jackets.
No.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have the best time. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna put this hoodie with this shirt. Oh, I'm gonna have this turtleneck. What? Me with a turtleneck?
I think it's because it's a guy thing. A girl, it's hard to look cute when you're
Hey man, I look pretty fucking hot with a fucking turtleneck, bro. Nah, I don't know, but
like the Rock with a gold chain and the
yeah. I have a picture where someone said I looked like that on my.
Oh my Instagram, God, you're gonna have to send it to me.
Yeah.
So no, I'm supposed to go there every 4 months because I have to give a presentation every 4 months because of.
That's fun. Presentations are real fun. They're fun. I do them. I had to do them for my job. I did.
So what do you do on your regular job, or do you?
I have 2. So I have this little guy. I do marketing for. Yeah, his name is Kiwi. Well, its name is Kiwi. It doesn't have a gender because it's all inclusive.
Oh, good.
But yeah, it is nice. But that's mental health, right? So I used to be a peer educator, then a lead team peer educator. So the lead team peer educator is essentially just peer educator plus management because I would manage the other employees.
Yeah.
We just present, right? So we do presentations on mental health topics. We talk about sexual assault. We talk about stalking, drug abuse.
Wow.
How you So it's heavy stuff. We talk about suicide. We talk about depression. We talk about anxiety, eating disorders, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
All those topics and conversations that everyone wants to have, and like it's just done.
That's a lot.
Those real easy conversations to have. That's what we did because now that program unfortunately has been killed by the university for reasons that they have. So that sucks. Now I'm only doing marketing. I essentially just make Instagram posts and email people. So that's not as fun.
I mean, if it's media,
I mean, it's working. It's working in my favor, kind of, not even really, because now my whole podcast advertisement is solely on social media. So it's solely on Instagram actually, because I don't have a Twitter. I do have a Twitter, but I don't really I'm not a Twitter person.
Why don't just try it?
I mean, I have it, but it's like, what am I gonna? I'm just got done doing an interview. Yay! You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm gonna write.
I have really weird stuff. I have I wore my pants backwards for half my day today, and I was.
But I feel like that's funny. You got me. Like, I'm very situational humor. Like, if someone says something, then I can play off of that.
Yeah.
Or come up with a joke on my own. Like, I would have to have for me to do stand up. Like, someone has to come up, tell jokes, and then I comment on the jokes. Like, that would be the stand up routine. I'll just sit down in a chair, and then they'll just be there.
Yeah.
Say something, and I'll be like, "Your hair sucks."
Yeah.
You get me? Like, you know.
Never be the primary. I'll going to a lot of comedy shows lately, and I was like, I could never do that. Like, what if no one laughs at me? Like, and you just
you know what's really funny though? Improv is hilarious. I will always laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they suck. They suck.
That's actually even funnier. Suck. No, that's actually
they suck. When they just bomb. When they're just that's hilarious. I like that too. When they don't know what the fuck, because you know how they ask for audience suggestions and shit.
Yeah.
Like I threw in my friend did improv once, and they asked for a state or a city or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said North Carolina, And like it was funny because like my friend who was up there, like we went the group, we had like been to North Carolina, and it was like, oh, it was like a terrible vacation place or something like that.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I said North Carolina because we had just went to one and it was hilarious. So we all laughed.
Yeah.
But his partner was like, I don't know what the fuck, like what's in North Carolina? Fucking ski. You get me? Like, so he was like, I don't fucking know what's in North Carolina.
I only know one thing in North Carolina is like the basketball team. That's all I know. Because they had a really nice jersey. What?
Nope. I don't watch sports. I'm too busy being lame.
I mean, I don't watch it, but I do get like updates.
I watch if it's on and I'm there, I'll watch it. But
So
I'll watch the
Super. Like,
I don't have a team, man. Definitely not the fucking Dolphins or whatever the fuck we have here. Definitely, I'll watch the Super Bowl though. I will watch the Super Bowl. It's I like the Super Bowl, but like I don't watch football religiously like that. So I really just watch it for like the heritage,
just
the tradition.
Yeah. That's like, no, my family's like such like I think because my mom always like did it every Sunday. We would have to go to church and then we like watch football together, or like we used to go to a lot of Warriors games together, but because of all this happened. But baseball, no, I don't understand any of it, but I just go to get drunk. Like I think I blacked out at the stadium every time.
You would fit in Miami. Like if you,
really?
I just go to get drunk, you'd fit right in. Not a hair out of place.
Short. Everyone there is like at least like 5.
Yeah, I mean, no, we're Hispanics. Hispanics are kind of short. I'm 5'9". I'm a little bit out of average. I'm a little like tall for us. You know what I mean? Like you have your 6 foot people.
Very true.
Every now and again, but like it's mostly like kind of like it's varying heights.
Really?
It's a varying heights. Yeah, it's like usually people are short, man. Like I have my best friend is probably 6'5". No.
Oh my God.
5'6". The other way around.
Oh, I was like,
I'm dyslexic, bro. Don't worry about it. So, no, my bad. 5'6" or 5'7".
I was like, that's really tall.
No. I fucked up. I'm dyslexic in my head on the numbers.
A lot of people. I put on my podcast once that I would never date anyone under 6 foot tall, and I got so much hate from that. Oh. And no one dropped it.
You're 4'11"?
Yeah, but
so you want the platform shoes. Like that's what you.
Well, I wear like 5-inch heels every day, or like not every day, but like when I go out.
Mm-hmm.
But
heels on top of heels.
Literally, I have stilts. So stilts under the heels.
She walks around with stilts.
I just prefer a taller man, but but I got so much shit from it. Every guy was like, you're so shallow. Whoa.
That's the thing, though. You'll get shit up for, like, everything.
No matter what.
Yeah. So, like, with, like, hate and stuff like that, I don't know. Like, I haven't gotten hate. But that's also because, like, no one fucking knows who I am. So that's cool. But it's not cool when you're trying to start a podcast. But, like, it's cool, I guess, because I don't – like, my mental health is more or less fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mental health. I literally never thought I would ever need a therapist. Like, my whole team – we all go to the same therapist, and I was like, I don't need one. What the fuck? And COVID hit. So interesting. COVID hit, and I live on my own, and I couldn't see anyone, and I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking going crazy. Like I think I'm going crazy. Like mentally I was like not there. I was like, you want me to be in my house?
Did you have like mental fog, if I can ask? Like was it like a foggy kind of feeling?
It was, and I didn't really know what to do next, and I was still working, but I was like, oh, like it wasn't clear.
Were you still seeing your friends, or?
No, this is when we were in a lockdown where we couldn't, like, grocery stores were only open a certain hours. Right.
You live in California.
Yeah,
where they have
the rules.
Yeah, sensible. I understand.
So I was freaking out. I was like, I live on my own, and like my mom works in a hospital, and she didn't want to expose us, and so I was like, I've never been to jail. I've never been to any of that, but I felt like it was that because I was not able to go anywhere.
Yeah, definitely I would argue it's the isolation that probably did that. If you're used to if you're a sociable person, which I feel like you are.
Oh my God, yeah. And I would see my friends every day.
Yeah, so you went from
extreme.
What you went from extreme, like you went polar, you flipped.
Yeah.
And of course that's gonna like have effects. I I don't know if this is what I mean. I don't know how the fuck I got into grad school. Probably because I'm cool, but but something that they asked me and something that I argued was that we're at a point now that there's already a big demand for psychologists at the moment because of like what's happening.
Yep.
But I feel, and I have a hunch, I have a feeling that as soon as vaccines are in like most of everyone's arm,
yeah,
and we're like more or less back to normal, we're gonna see this influx of like mental health. Like we're gonna see more and more people because I feel like because I feel what might be happening is that it's building up right now. I think you're gonna have a lot of people who just fucking go wild and party, but I think I have a feeling. Obviously, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that there's gonna be like a giant wave of like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like everything that if they haven't, like if they haven't been processing like the shit that they've been going through, it's gonna fucking hit them
hard.
Because that's and it's gonna hit them, and when it does, it's gonna be like a wave of people like seeking out therapy.
No, I totally agree, because even just like I experienced my first indoor dining in like a year, and I was like, I don't even know how to act. Like I don't even know. Like I felt so weird. I was like, so I can just sit inside. I felt like very robotic. I was like, this is just
I mean, we're social creatures. I honestly, I mean, I did not spend a day not like a whole 24 hours indoors, and I still can't do that. Like I feel if I stay too long indoors, there's something that happens. There's something that happens, and I feel like the depression is like crawling on me. You get me?
I totally agree.
So what I did and what I usually do just to like cope with shit, I drive. I go on drives.
Yeah.
But I've been also like biking, like that also helps. But I've been out, like right now I'm outdoors. You know what I mean? I'm still working remotely because my parents are 65 plus, so I need to like not make sure they don't fucking die.
That too. You gotta handle that.
Yeah, I'm also asthmatic, so if that fucking virus hits me, I'll know I have it when I'm like dying. You get me? So
I have asthma too. I'm like, my inhaler is like right here.
I know I have COVID when I'm
at shortness. Yep. My albuterol needs to be used.
On death's door. Quite like I was on Saturday. I'll send you the picture, but it's fucking I was face
of your
down.
rice?
Of me on the floor. I'm not gonna send you fucking I didn't take a picture of that.
Like, look, there's rice coming out of my nose, guys. Look at
no, I could. Oh my! It hurt so much. It was unbelievable. Like I've thrown up.
Did you mix alcohol?
All right. So what I did is I had.
Okay. No. Yes or no is what I just need to hear.
I didn't mix, but I mixed substances, so that wasn't fun.
Usually that helps though. Like if you do other.
Nope.
Well, for me,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You using?
Absolutely not. It was the worst thing that I've ever experienced.
I think if I don't use other substances, then I will for sure throw up. This helps me not throw up.
No, I'm fucked. Like I've thrown up bile before, and anyone who's thrown up bile knows it's fucking terrible, and it's very heavy. If you throw up in a bag, it's very heavy.
Oh God.
And I thought I needed a hospital. I've never thought that I've ever needed to go to a hospital. I'm like, I need an IV because I'm going to dehydrate and die.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And that's me thinking about that while I'm on the floor. You know what I mean?
That's crazy how you can actually think of it. Everyone's usually checked out by then.
I had slimmers of the thing is, I was aware in my brain what was happening,
but your body
at various points, because there's a lot of things I don't remember, and there's various points where I'm like, oh, okay, like I need help.
This is not. Did you start early?
Yeah, dude, it was brunch, bro. Oh my God, I had
champagne too. Champagne will.
Mimosa. Yeah, I had mimosas, bro. It's disgusting. I don't even.
What are you? 21? Like that's
I'm fucking 24, bro. It's done.
Oh my God, that
is the worst thing. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced. I'm never going to brunch again. I obviously can't. I was hungover. No. I was drunk and hungover in the same day, and I get migraines, so it was terrible. It was the worst experience of my life.
We both have asthma. We both get migraines. I take sumatriptan for my migraines, and it just.
Oh, what do you take for your migraines?
I take sumatriptan, but like the side effects are so
You
strong.
take what?
Sumatriptan?
Is that over the counter?
No.
No? Oh, shit. Never mind. I take Excedrin. That's over the counter.
If you take that with Mountain Dew, it actually helps.
With Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it's weird.
Why? Because of the caffeine? Does Mountain Dew have caffeine?
I don't know. Something in Mountain Dew that they have something that not all the other sodas have. But that helps enhance it.
What helps is caffeine. Like the pills that I take. Oh, my battery is dying.
Okay, well, soon.
My laptop's better. Yeah. You'll see me phase out if we don't hang up before then.
If rice comes out from your nose.
No, but I'll take Dr. Pepper. Like I've had like, no, the pills have caffeine in them. They have caffeine, aspirin, and something else. And that's like the magic mix for me. Nothing else helps. Like I took a lot of Advil when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And Advil doesn't work anymore. It's
because you're immune to it because you've been taking it for so long.
It doesn't do, but Excedrin is my lifesaver. I really don't have another solution. It's really just Excedrin. I can't even nap it off. Can you sleep it off?
I can't sleep off anything, honestly.
Nope. I wake up, I go to sleep with a migraine, I'll wake up with the migraine.
Really?
Like I put snooze. It snoozes the migraine because I can fall asleep depending. But as soon as I wake up, it's done. It's back. We're back. He's like, yo, we're up, you're up.
It just paused for a second.
Yeah, dead ass. It pauses. And then what the fuck? I'm going to go back to sleep? No.
I know. No.
Just perpetual until I fucking starve.
You should try sumatriptan, but it has really bad side effects if you don't mind feeling nauseous.
Yo, something else that's been happening is that I've been getting weird nauseous migraines where it's like it's coming in. You know how you get the aura? And you're like, oh, it's coming in.
Yeah, I try to stop it by then. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's when I take the pill. That's when I take the pill, or I try to drink something that has caffeine, as long as it's not coffee. But I'll have that shit come in, and I'll get really nauseous. Not like throw up nauseous because I know I'm not gonna throw up, but it's like I feel like.
But you feel it, yeah. That's how I feel when I take sumatriptan. It's either like, what do you want to give up? Do you want to give up your migraine or do you want to give up your stomach? Like, it's like that. But it's just stomach, like so hard. Yeah, because migraines, the light, any type of light.
I'm hella light sensitive. I'm not sound sensitive though, because I can listen to like music and on a migraine, I'll be okay.
Imagine driving. One time I was driving and the headlights, oh my God.
Bro,
I was like,
when the light hits like license plates and like it reflects in that certain way.
I'm done. Like, kill me.
Slaughter.
Rip my eyeballs out of my fucking face.
Yo, it's the worst thing. Do you get migraines when it rains?
I usually get migraines when I don't sleep a lot, but when I for sure just sleep for 24 hours. That, or if I don't have my blue tint glasses, and I'm working for more than 12 hours, if I don't wear those, I am so like one time I work from home from other different cities, and one time I forgot my glasses, and I was like, oh no, this is it. This is how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get a migraine.
Yeah. So, fuck. Actually, I just remembered that I need to like make sure that I save the fucking files.
Okay, let's cut now. Yeah, let me know when you're gonna release the stuff. I'm gonna send you a picture of my palm trees tomorrow so you can feel bad for me.
I'll definitely text you about releasing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I have a little bit. Yeah, I'll text you about releasing. It's a little bit weird because I'm like really ahead, and that's good, but it's also bad because now
That's
do I release this episode in November or do I release it like next month? I think I'm gonna release it next month just because of like I think it's important to talk about the
Asian racism stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about that now. But now I have to figure out who I'm gonna move. So
okay, just let me know.
But yeah, we'll talk. All right, cool. Talking to you, dope as fuck. Keep in touch.